Hello, and welcome back to another video slash audio. Um, by the way, I'm trying to design these so that you don't have to actually watch me. You can actually just try and listen to me if you are, for whatever reason, interested in what I have to say. Then the idea here is that we've got a low production situation going on. There's not really a lot to see in terms of what I've got in frame of the camera. So hopefully the idea is that you can just listen to this, have it as you like, your thing you're listening to while you're doing something else. But yeah, let's get into the content of this video. So animation. So I wanted to do a dedicated video here about animation because I only watched a few animations last year, but historically I've always been a big fan of animation, and whether it's been Pixar or DreamWorks or other, just Walt Disney in general. Like, I've always felt like I've been a big fan of animation, and I've seen so many good animations over the years, and I want to get more into it. And so as a branch of that, I want to also get more into um, manga and anime that's kind of based off of good manga, because historically I've always enjoyed and still to this day really appreciate basically anything Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. But that's very mainstream kind of anime, whereas I want to kind of branch a little bit more into some of the lesser known stuff but still highly appreciated stuff. So something that came onto my radar was Ghost in the Shell. So Ghost in the Shell, this is a 1995 Japanese animated tech noir cyberpunk action thriller film, and yeah, it always got really well appreciated online, and it's only 83 minutes long, so it's not like a huge 3 hour commitment. You can get it done in under an hour and a half, and yeah, set in 2029, very sci-fi, very like future dystopia. It kind of ticks a lot of the boxes that thematically speaking, in terms of what I'm kind of drawn to with my sci-fi. And notably, this is probably another reason I went off on the tangent looking at this film, is because, and I can see here, it inspired filmmakers such as the Wachowskis with The Matrix. So it's got that kind of connective tissue with what they were thinking of moving into their Matrix movies. They'd obviously seen this film and been inspired by it, and I can see why. I mean, it's a beautifully sort of animated and sounding film. It's really, I don't remember there being a lot of words in it, but it's just really like one of those, you really have to watch it. You can't really second screen this. I mean, you probably could if you really wanted to, but I think this certainly feel most appreciated when you can just single screen it and really focus and lock into it. Um, yeah, I really appreciate this. I've not seen the live action remake, and I've not seen the remastered version, the 2.0, which apparently has new digital effects and things like that. But I had a good time with this, and I can see why it's inspired other filmmakers. Um, so in this category, I've also got Pokemon the first movie. So surprise, I watched a Pokemon movie last year, and this is a 75-minute. This is the original. It's the first movie. I'd not seen this for many years, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember what it was. It was free on the Pokemon YouTube channel. That was it. So sometimes they'll run movies and TV shows for free, just on YouTube, where you don't have to subscribe to anything other than their channel, and you can just watch it. So I think I watched it on there because it was free for a while. I've forgotten how dark this film was, to be honest. 75 minutes. It's so dark. I mean, look, if we just look at the plot here. Team Rocket leader Giovanni recruits scientist Dr. Fuji to create a cloned super soldier from an eyelash of the mythical Pokemon Mew. So I'd always known that Mewtwo is a clone of Mew, but seeing the way they do this in this film is so dark. And Mewtwo, essentially like being this ultra powerful psychic, just starts like taking over and brainwashing other Pokemon and creating an army. Like, it's really dark. Reminds me of another plot thread I'd seen in like Kilgrave. Like, Mewtwo basically goes Kilgrave. I've been watching the X-Men cartoon lately as a bit of a tangent, and Kilgrave is all about taking over and controlling someone else. And yeah, that's what Mewtwo is all about in this, like full on voiced Mewtwo, just taking over and controlling other Pokemon. Really quite terrifying. And having also recently played through Pokemon Gold again. Yeah, remembering about that kind of early Pokemon Kanto Johto era of Team Rocket, how dark some of that stuff was with Giovanni. I mean, yeah, it's certainly become a lot more light-hearted, I think, over the years. But yeah, the original Pokemon, very definitely leans more into kind of a dark tone that I quite appreciate. I must be honest. Um, yeah, this was a fun to watch. Seeing all the old characters, but very, very emotive. Yeah, very like that cry from Pikachu at the end of Pokemon the first movie. Oh my god! I remember I was either crying or on the verge of crying again with that. That is like really like piercing. Hearing Pikachu in pain um, at the end, and the voice work of the Pikachu actress Iku Otani. Yeah, she's literally just making the same handful of sounds over and over and over again in like different permutations, and but she just manages to deliver like this sound of this anguished electric mouse in a way that no other, you know, other animated electric mouse quite can live up to. But yeah, Pokemon the first movie and Ghost in the Shell. I've given Ghost in the Shell an A plus, and I gave Pokemon the first movie an A. So I put Ghost in the Shell just a little bit ahead, probably just in terms of its overall craft. A lot more mature themed. Ghost in the Shell apparently got a 15 rating. Pokemon the first movie got a PG. Wow, that's I don't know if that's the best thing to be showing your 6-year-old, but no, it's not too bad. But so there's a couple of films there, and a couple more films I got for you last year that I watched. I watched Brave. So this is a film I'd long appreciated, I think, since it first came out, because of the general theme of it being set up in Scotland and being based on like a coming of age rebellion story of sort of a young lady coming into her own and contending with living up to her parents' legacy and also trying to find her own way in the world. And also the setting, I mean, I'm like constantly, I've had this long running admiration for the Scottish Highlands, and some of the locations in this were beautiful. Wow, huge budget on this, 185 million, pulled in 539 million. These are dollars. I'm just wheeling these off Wikipedia. 93-minute film, Brave. Yeah, that's another thing I really appreciate. If you can land under 100 minutes, I feel like you've really respected my time, and I will give you leeway on certain aspects of the film maybe that aren't up to scratch, just because you've been able to get through the film quicker. So yeah, Brave, really cool film. I mean, it's a film basically you want to be showing this to every single like 7-year-old girl that you know, right? Surely, because I think it's a perfect like character for a young lady to want to aspire to, you know, feel a bit brave, feel a bit bold and adventurous. So yeah, thumbs up for Brave. I gave it an A, but on re-examination, you know, that might creep up further with a rewatch, maybe up to an A plus. I could quite easily have given that A plus. So the other film here, we've got, this was a rewatch. So these were both rewatches. The only first time watching this batch was Ghost in the Shell, but another rewatch I did last year after I'd first seen it in 2024 when it released was Piece by Piece. This is a Lego film. Yeah, going back to when I was young, I was playing with Legos. I've always had this sort of appreciation for Lego as well, whether it's been Lego Star Wars video games or just appreciating that good animated Lego just looks really pleasing on the eye, I think. And yeah, the fact that Pharrell Williams decided to go on his own little Lego odyssey, to borrow the name of a song on his album for this film. Yeah, this film, it really ignited my imagination, to be honest. When I was sat in the cinema when I was first watching it in 24, I remember going in thinking, oh wow, it's gonna have some Daft Punk in here, and they did feature in the film, but I won't spoil the extent of their feature in the film. But I couldn't believe how many songs, and having rewatched the film, I could hear the connection of the way that Pharrell has done his music production over the years. But with him having worked with Gwen Stefani, Kendrick Lamar, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, and of course Snoop Dogg. Like seeing how many songs he's had a hand in production on, and realizing, wow, yeah, he's got this really, and Nor as well. He's just got this like touch he adds to his production. Obviously, it's hard to know exactly what aspect of every song that he's been involved in the production on that was specifically him. But I feel like every song that his name is also attributed to, I don't know, it just makes me kind of go, yeah, this is like a well produced song, and that's at least how he tells his story in the film, of him like hustling and grinding and try to like go from humble beginnings and then try to work up and just really lock on to being himself, and allowing his creativity to take him in the direction that he wants, and not to be necessarily too pulled from pillar to post in how other people want him to produce and create music. But yeah, I just feel like this film's so full of charm. It's easy watch because it's Lego. It's full of music as well. Like there are moments where, again, going back to the musical element in the previous video, where I just love a good song on a film and a good bit of choreography, and yeah, this film just had me smiling, and some emotional parts in it again with some of his history with his family falling ill or passing away, and yeah, it's kind of made me want to go back and listen to all of that kind of 90s and 2000s music that he's had a hand in, probably create a playlist and just kind of reappreciate it all, because obviously um, that kind of era as well, late 90s, early 2000s, that's when I was a kid, and that's when I was listening to a lot of, I realise now I was listening to a lot of his music without realising it, and not only have I come to appreciate him more as an artist in the 2010s, but yeah, I was actually listening to a lot of his stuff when I was a kid without realising, which is really cool. So yeah, thumbs up for my namesake, Pharrell Williams, and his film Piece by Piece. I gave it an A+. So I put it just ahead of Brave, but yeah, both great films. All four films mentioned in this video. Thumbs up from me. So yeah, animation. Yeah, I hope to watch a lot more animation this year. Yeah, there's loads of films that come to mind that I think, oh, I haven't seen that for ages. I'd love to go back and watch that. So hopefully I can get through a lot more animation this year. And yeah, so thumbs up for animation and thumbs up for all four of these films. I do recommend all four of them. So with that being said, thank you for listening to this chapter, episode, volume of this series, and I hope to catch you in one of the future ones. Until then, farewell.